By the time you watch this video, over 15 miners who have been trapped inside an illegal mine in Meghalaya since the last 1 month might already be dead. The Meghalaya government is soon planning to call off all rescue operations, which means we might not be able to recover their bodies as well. On the evening of December 13th, 15 miners got trapped inside an illegal coal mine in Nokle, Meghalaya. Now, these illegal coal mines are commonly referred to as rat mines because laborers have to go 150 feet underground to mine for coal without any safety equipment. It's been over a month since these miners have been trapped, and there is absolutely no chance of their survival now. This not only shows shocking government apathy and corruption, but also shows what a low value we place on human life in our country. In this episode of Country of Millennials, I'm going to recap a little bit and talk to you about how the corruption and apathy of both the Meghalaya government and the Union Government of India botched up this operation and sacrificed the lives of these 15 people. On the evening of 13 December, just after these laborers got trapped inside the mine, a team from the local administration immediately reached the accident spot. However, they realized that they couldn't do anything because the depth of the water inside the mine was far too much. The same evening, the administration also alerted the 1st Battalion of the National Disaster Response Force, or the NDRF, who are based out of Guwahati Airport. The 1st Battalion of the NDRF left from Guwahati immediately and reached the accident site in the early morning of 14 December. On 14th of December, the NDRF surveyed the accident site and found that the illegal mine was filled with about 70 feet of water, thus making it impossible for NDRF divers to go inside and rescue the miners. As a result, the NDRF requested the local administration to supply them with 2 water pumps of 25 horsepower each. These pumps arrived immediately, but unfortunately the NDRF realized that they were not enough to pump out all the water from the mine. A heavy rainfall ended up flooding the mine again, increasing the level of water by another 2 feet, thus negating all the efforts of the last 3 days. On the 18th of December, the NDRF also discovered that water was seeping into the mine from an adjoining river. After wasting 2 whole days, the Meghalaya government finally got in touch with Jaswant Singh Gill, who led a heroic operation in 1989 to rescue 64 miners from a mine in West Bengal. Gill reached the accident site on the 20th of December and said what the NDRF had already said, that stronger and more powerful pumps were required. Subsequently, the local Deputy Commissioner wrote a letter to the Additional Chief Secretary of Meghalaya requesting 10 water pumps of 100 horsepower each on the 21st of December. And now this is where things start getting really shocking. Over the next 4 days, until the 24th of December, the NDRF and the local Deputy Commissioner received no response from the Meghalaya state government. This is apparently because all senior government officials were away on Christmas vacations. During this period, the NDRF desperately tried to use the 2 25 horsepower water pumps that they had, but realized that it was a completely futile exercise as water just kept accumulating with every passing day. On 24th December, the 2 25 horsepower pumps, which were with the NDRF, finally stopped working due to continuous use. Now the NDRF had no option but to wait for additional help to come in. By this time, the laborers had been trapped inside the mine for 10 days without any water or food. However, there was no response forthcoming from the Meghalaya state government because the Additional Chief Secretary was still on his Christmas vacation. Finally, on December 26th, the Meghalaya state government decided to reach out to Coal India for help. Over the next 3 days, teams from Coal India, Odisha Fire Services, as well as divers from the Indian Navy reached the accident spot. Between the 29th and the 31st of December is when the high horsepower pumps were finally delivered to the accident site. By now, it had been 17 days that water was seeping in from the adjoining river into the mine, as well as heavy rainfall was flooding the area. The water level had now gotten to a point where the rescuers were not able to do anything at all. It has now been over a month that these laborers have been trapped inside that mine with no food or water. Meghalaya has been synonymous with illegal mines or rat mines since forever. In the year 2014, the National Green Tribunal or the NGT imposed a blanket ban on these rat mines. In 2015, the NGT went further and said that no coal can be transported anymore from any of these illegal rat mines. However, this has not discouraged the Meghalaya state government or the Union government of India. In August last year, just before the Meghalaya elections, Union Minister of Coal Piyush Goyal promised to find a solution to the mining crisis if his party were elected into power. Subsequently, after the assembly elections, Union Coal Minister Piyush Goyal has met Meghalaya CM Conrad Sangma on several occasions to find a way to circumvent this mining ban. The BJP and the National People's Party or the NPP are allies in Meghalaya, and the NPP government of Conrad Sangma was formed with outside support from the BJP. The Meghalaya government also received a stinging blow from the Supreme Court on January 15th of this year when the court rejected the state's petition to allow the transportation of coal in contravention of the NGT's ban. While passing its order, the Supreme Court also observed that Meghalaya had filed this petition 3 years after the NGT made the transportation of coal illegal in 2015. Hence, the Supreme Court concluded that it seems that illegal mining is still thriving in the state of Meghalaya. The Supreme Court also hauled up the Meghalaya government over the condition of these 15 poor trapped miners and said that it is because of inaction of the Meghalaya government that illegal mining has been thriving in the state to this extent. And indeed, as it turns out, 7 NPP MLAs and 4 cabinet ministers in the Meghalaya government have business interests in the coal mining industry. Until now, neither Union Minister Piyush Goyal nor Prime Minister Modi have visited the accident site where the 15 labourers are still trapped. As politicians continue to mint money off illegal coal mines, there are 15 families that are never going to see their loved ones. Even today in Meghalaya, scores of poor labourers are forced to go into these rat mines in order to just earn a living. As we celebrate our Republic Day this month, it would be a good time to ponder and ask ourselves about the diminishing value of human life in our country. Last year, we saw how a country like Thailand worked overtime in order to rescue kids who were trapped inside a flooded cave and also got them home back safely. For all of our claims of being a superpower, we need to ask ourselves how cheap and expendable human life has become in our nation. We have sacrificed 15 innocent lives to government apathy and corruption. And the really sad part is that most of us are not even aware of this. Now, is this because of India's traditional apathy towards the northeastern states? Or is it because those 15 men trapped inside that mine were just poor labourers? While the Meghalaya government was busy celebrating Christmas, 15 poor labourers trapped inside an illegal mine were suffocating to a likely death. And in all probability, we have now lost them forever. In the words of Bob Dylan, I think it's time we ask ourselves, how many deaths will it take until we know that too many people have died?
Too many people have died. The answer, my friend,